What's going on, YouTube? Back at it with another video. Look, as y'all know, I don't fuck with the water, period. Simple as that. I don't care if it's a lake, pond, sea. If it's big body of water and I can't see in it, I'm not getting in it. But I do be interested in what's inside the water, like, or how certain animals work, or how they, maneuver, how they act, their environment. Let me know some shit, just in case I end up slipping into that water. I know something. But before we get into this video, man, I need y'all to like, comment, subscribe. Sit back and relax and fire one of them things if you got one. Smoke with me, smoke with me. You know what I mean? But the way orcas prepare for death has shocked the world. What you mean? Like, they prepare for death? Like, they just know, like, okay, I'm finna die tomorrow. So let's go ahead and rally up, send me off, and I don't know. Like, they don't pray to God. They just know. You know, like, the animals just know what happens. They probably like, what if, like, how, you know how when they come to the top and they nose be pointed up? What if that's how they die? And all these motherfucking, we thinking they coming up to get air there. They just preparing to die. Let's find out.
You about octopuses getting ready for death? And I thought, why not check out other smart animals that do something similar? And who can be as smart as an octopus? An orca. But this one is complicated. Well, on November 6th, 2023, a group of observers and researchers noticed something strange in the waters north of Lapa Island in Norway. A male orca was acting very unusually. It was clear he was in trouble and seemed to be preparing to die. Two other orcas huddled together nearby, holding the male at the surface so he could breathe.
Like dogs.
Orcas can stay underwater for up to 15 minutes, but they usually come to the surface to breathe every few minutes. It was clear the male felt really bad. He was exhausted, but his group just wouldn't let him die. For almost an hour, they kept him at the surface, till they finally gave up. But even when the male died, the orcas kept fussing around him. They swam back and forth, trying to revive the male.
That's crazy, bro. They like, bro, we not finna let you die, even though you can't hold on your own. They was not gonna let him die. But you know, like whales and shit, they have to come up for air because they breathe oxygen. They just hold their breath for a long ass time. Then they have to come back up, grab some more air. So they was just with this nigga, sick as hell, damn near paralyzed, can't swim, can't do none of that. But every time they went underwater, they did what they did, probably holding him around, swimming him around, and then out of nowhere, bro, come to the top. Let's push this nigga up. God damn, bro, we been out here all day with this nigga, man. Bro, go ahead and roll over and die, man. Shit.
Male. This might be the first instance when the death of an adult orca was recorded in the North Atlantic, and possibly anywhere in the world.
Play
the
the
story
video.
didn't end with the male's death. An hour or two later, observers from another ship saw young orcas trying again to keep the male at the surface. It's unclear whether the male survived and managed to rise from the depths himself, or if his body was pushed up by his kin.
Nah, that nigga dead, bro. As soon as the fish get on this side and they start floating, and this motherfucking piece start hanging and shit, bro, we ain't never seen no whale in this position underwater ever. That nigga dead.
And then there's a question. Why did the orcas stop the male from dying? Or was it preparation for death? But then, what was it about? Well, the intro took a while, but oh well. Now some coffee.
What if they bring him to the top so they can release all the air so he don't float when he die? So he can just drop and then, you know, die and turn into food for other fish. I don't know. What if that's it though?
Get much sleep today.
He just turned into fertilizer, like when we die.
Just an unobtrusive reminder to hit the like button if you forget to do it. Okay, first we need to figure out how orcas and other cetaceans actually die. The most common opinion sounds like this. In old age, the whale simply suffocates and drowns because it can no longer rise to the surface and breathe.
Yeah, that gab, bro. Spill water on me. That fire, you hear me? I had to pause the movie. I mean, this shit is like a movie, watching this shit with y'all, man. Dude, we feeling like a movie. Like, we a big family. That's how I feel, though. Like, I'm rolling up, y'all rolling up, or chilling, or whatever y'all doing. We like a big little family, nigga, watching movies and shit. Come on, kids. It's movie time, sisters and brothers. Come over. Get over here. Let's dance. Let's dance. Get over here, motherfucker. Let's dance. Let's dance.
But there's one catch.
Bro, I'm
no
fucking
one has
retarded,
ever seen
bro.
a
What the
cetacean
fuck?
drown without human intervention. No stranded whale has been autopsied
what
to
be
figure out the
going on
cause
in
of
my
death.
head?
We humans assume that old whales drown because they have
Get
to
over
keep using
here.
energy to
Let's
reach the surface.
dance.
But in reality, adult whales don't need to
dance.
swim too hard to stay afloat and breathe air. The only exception is calves, who haven't yet accumulated enough fat for good buoyancy. The most likely reason an elderly whale dies is that it can't catch prey and slowly loses strength from hunger.
Yeah, then they can't
Basically, it's
swim,
similar
bro.
to top predators on land. Orcas have a neat trick, though. They can share food among themselves. For instance, there's a known case where a disabled orca missing 2 fins was fed, supported, and cared for by its family. But it seems like this is an isolated example. It's quite possible.
How's that unique? You know what's unique? They can share food. Nigga, we all can do that. Just don't eat all your shit. Let somebody else come eat it. That's sharing. What the fuck? I'm thinking like, I mean, there ain't no other way to think. Like, if you say sharing food, like, what the fuck? That ain't special, nigga. We all can do that.
That the ability of orcas to feed a family member depends on luck, the type of orcas, the prey they eat, the size of the pod, and a bunch of other
that's
factors.
true. That is true,
Care
though.
can't save everyone.
That is
The
true.
old cetacean
Food ain't
slowly
just
realizes
at
it
the
can't
gas
hunt like it
station.
used to, so it's time to prepare for death. The animal becomes less active, barely shows any interest in food, and doesn't interact with others, and when it has no strength left, the whale just sinks to the bottom without much struggle. The fact that other orcas tried to help and keep the male at the surface seems to be a sign of caring, but if air was the only problem, the male wouldn't have died. It just lived to its limit and couldn't struggle anymore. By the
Right.
way, old age for an orca is 70 to 80 years old for females and 60 years for males. It's believed that the oldest orca lived up to 105 years. But there might have been a mistake in the
So they about
calculations.
like us, they
What
die
happened
around
after
time
the
we die.
orcas left their dead companion alone? It's known that orca carcasses fully decompose over decades and can provide food for an entire ecosystem on the ocean floor.
For real.
Shortly after
I
death,
believe that.
decomposition processes begin. An orca can bloat because of the gas inside and even float to the surface. If this happens,
Y'all ever seen a whale blow up? Like once it gets like stuck on land and it be out there for a while, and you know once it die and all the acids and shit or however the shit work, and it make it bloated as hell. Nigga, I seen a video of fucking a whale that got bloated, and I think they cut it open. I think they tried to cut it, or this one, yeah, that's what this dude. It was a dude in like one of the all white suit, and he tried to cut the stomach open. That bitch blew up like, boo, and it was just guts and big ass intestines just fell out. But he flew out the way, bah, because it blew up like a bomb, just straight. Ugh.
happened to our
I know that
male, he
shit
probably
stank.
became dinner for sharks and seabirds. But they all released excess gas and the male started to sink, slowly going to the bottom. And down there, they're already waiting for him. No, it's not like sea creatures have a schedule for when orcas die, but every such case is a celebration. Regardless of how deep
They
the orca
lit.
died, after death, it still
People fed
became a
hella
source
people.
of food for a bunch of animals. They can feast on the body of an orca for over a year.
That's what I'm saying. Like when I die, bro, turn me into like a tree or something. Don't just put me in no box and put me under there. You probably trap my soul or something. Hey, get me out this motherfucking box. Fuck that. Put me in. Go ahead and grind me up. Turn me into some soil. And plant a tree in me and turn me into a tree. For real. Let me play my part in reproducing. You know, playing my death part. You know, when you die, you still got a little rule. Like, you could feed a whole family, like a bunch of crabs or something, if you die in the ocean. See, I could bring y'all some extra oxygen. Y'all can have some TrV and oxygen. Because of my tree. You know what I'm saying? I might produce, like, peaches or something. You never know. I don't know. You never know. But I played my part.
Sometimes even up to 2 years if the orca was large enough. How long has it been since the male died? Less than a year? The feast is in full swing. Demersal fish, crabs,
that-
lobsters,
that-
and lots
you
of
know
other
that shit some
scavengers
Zai
are
when
eating
your
the
nose
fat
start
muscles
itching.
down to the bones. Eventually, the body turns into
By
a
just
pile of
breaking it
bones
down.
ready to be collected and taken to a museum. But this needs to be done before the Osidax worms get involved. They were first discovered in 2002, and since then, scientists know that these are the most important animals responsible for bone decay. The worms break down
Worms?
collagen and fat, add oxygen to the bones, and this speeds up the decay process. If you think about it, worms that eat bones are like something out of a horror movie.
Yeah, that's crazy. They eat your bones. Imagine how many rich people got them like as pets and pigs and shit. You think he just own a farm, bro? He getting rid of y'all. Motherfucker kill you, throw you in there with them pigs. They eat everything. And then the little leftover bones that they didn't eat, he throw them bones in a little bucket. Not a bucket, he in a little aquarium full of bone-eating worms. And they just devour your shit. And now no one ever sees you or hears from you ever again. And they just can't find you. Bro, there's people out here doing that. If I can just think of that off my head, somebody did that shit before. Or going to do it. Or in the process of doing it right now. That's crazy. It's smart, but it's crazy, bro. Because it's killing people.
Fortunately, they only eat carcasses. Worms like Osidax muciflorus, whose name literally means bone-eating snot flower, bore their
Bone-eating
bacteria-filled
snot
root
flower?
system into the bone while their feathers flutter in the open water, absorbing oxygen. Deep in these roots, the worms produce acid and enzymes that break down various elements of the bone, and they don't just eat bones, but also reproduce right there, releasing many eggs into the water column from
So
which
them niggas
larvae
that
hatch.
eat your bones and
Then they
fuck
settle
your
on
bones
nearby
and then
bones and
lay their babies on your bones. They fucking on your bones. That's crazy. Eat your bones, fuck on them, and then lay some kids on your bones and raise their kid inside your skeleton. Nigga got 65,000 kids in your head, just in your skull. Niggas that ate your whole jawline off and shit. That shit crazy.
continue to break them down. Anyway, our male still has a long way to go before he meets the worms.
Them squids.
It'll take at least 10 years. And then between 10 and 50 years later, bacteria will take care of the bones, producing hydrogen sulfide, a gas that smells like rotten eggs. They'll completely break down our male orca.
When I worked at a warehouse, the dude was like, if you ever smell rotten eggs, just randomly smell rotten eggs in your house, get out your house. Because that shit's carbon dioxide and that motherfucker finna blow the fuck up. Like, blow the fuck. Y'all ever smell them trucks that come where you work in any type of convenience store or something or anything, and they refilling them big ass fucking diesels, but they had them little big carbon dioxide tanks and shit when they refill them? Oh my God, nigga, the whole warehouse smell like eggs. Farting eggs, nigga. For real. And if you just laying in your bed, you start smelling a whole bunch of farting eggs, and you know for a fact you ain't shitted in 30 minutes. You like, hold on, nigga, what the fuck? I smell eggs. Get out the house, man. Open the doors, open the windows, get out. Don't light no cigarette, no nothing, nigga. You gonna blow this bitch up, for real.
Oh, and then I remembered the heart-wrenching story of a calf of an orca named Tahlequah. It was born on July 24th, 2018 off Vancouver Island and died just minutes later.
Damn.
Afterward, there were many reports of Tahlequah carrying the dead calf on the surface for a very long time. It was seriously so long. In total, the mom carried the calf on her head for at least 17 days.
Damn.
Perhaps all that time, the orca was trying to keep the baby above water so he could breathe. Together with her calf, she covered approximately 1,000 miles. Tahlequah's relatives sometimes helped her carry the dead calf and may have even fed her throughout this time. The calf, already dead, slid off its mother's snout more than once, and each time the orca dived to retrieve it. I'm telling you, it's a heart-wrenching story.
That's
Eventually,
heartbreaking.
Tahlequah
She just want
abandoned
her
the calf's
baby to
body
live, but
because
that
it began
baby
to
is
decompose.
dead.
And although it's seen as an expression of grief, like mourning, try
She
looking
didn't
at the
wanna let it
situation
go.
from another angle. Orcas are known to support their dying kin at the surface so they can breathe. So maybe Tahlequah's actions were indeed a desperate attempt to save the calf. Think about it. It makes sense.
Hell yeah.
But conclusions, of course, can only be drawn from indirect evidence. Does what's happening resemble mourning? Definitely. By the
You
way,
can't
scientists
save
are
nothing that's
confident that
dead.
not only Tahlequah, but also members of her pod interacted with the calf's body after its death. They carried it, lifted it, swam around it. According to the director of the
Can't
Whale
save nothing
Museum,
that's dead. It's over with. Once it's dead, it's dead. And that's in all aspects of life. If a flower die, you can't put no water and sunlight on it and expect that motherfucker to get right. No, nigga, that motherfucker is dead. It's over with. It ain't sick. It ain't almost dying, depreciating. No, that motherfucker is dead. You can't fix nothing dead. Yeah. Only thing you can fix dead is your phone charger. That's it. Not your phone charger, just your phone. If you got, only thing that can be fixed that's dead is like man-made shit, like shit that's electricity or something. You just, nigga, it's dead. Okay, plug it up to the charger. Nigga, you get a relationship and your relationship is dead. Nigga, you can't plug your relationship up in no charger. You can't fix that, nigga. Once that motherfucker dead, the relationship is over. It'll never be good ever again. Y'all don't respect each other. Y'all don't trust each other. It's a wrap. Break up. Or you gonna go through some toxic shit for real. You can't fix nothing dead but a cell phone.
All this is like a wake or funeral practice adopted by orcas. Such ceremonies can last for several days so that every member of the pod can pay respects and mourn the loss. Sometimes orcas surround their dead comrades, showing curiosity. In other cases, they go even further. They stand guard near the bodies and keep them afloat. Scientists also point out that Tahlequah's behavior isn't unique. Other orca mothers frequently carry deceased calves on their heads. Tahlequah simply did so for an unusually extended period. In general, that's why I assumed she was trying to save the calf. By the way, anthropologist Barbara King, who studies animal emotions, is convinced, in the case of Tahlequah, it was indeed genuine grief. People often mistakenly attribute human qualities and logic to animals, but this is not one of those cases. Orcas are very intelligent and very social. That's enough for them to experience real grief. After all, feelings like sorrow or love are not...
I feel like anything that can like breathe, if you got a soul, like you can breathe, eat, drink, you know, anything in that category, you can breathe, eat, and drink, and you got like a soul, you definitely gonna grieve in some type of way. I don't care if you done murdered 600 people and you ain't got no heart, your heart cold. It's that one person you care about, probably your mama or something, to where you gonna grieve. You gonna feel bad.
Exclusively human, and who else can get these feelings if not orcas? Researchers describe Tahlequah as an incredibly attentive mother who seems to treat her offspring with great tenderness. She played with her first calf longer and more than orcas typically do. Then, most likely, Tahlequah had 1 to 2 unsuccessful pregnancies, which affected her deeply. 17 days of mourning is indeed long, but for a mother of her nature, it's more than understandable. Several biologists confirm that orcas can grieve. Melissa Regente...
What if in her past life she was one of them girls that just had hella abortions? So God sent her back as an orca, and every kid that she had that she wanted died. Like, god damn. That's some karma right there.
A biologist from the University of Milano Bicocca in Italy and co-author of a 2016 study on this topic emphasizes orcas experience pain and stress and know that something bad has happened. During another study, there were reports about how orcas held dead calves in their mouths, pushed them through the water, and touched them with their fins. And also, well, just in case you need additional arguments, during these 17 days of mourning, females from Tahlequah's pod gathered around her in a tight circle. It was an act of clear emotional support that lasted at least 2 hours. So I did a bit of Googling. It's believed that animals' ability to grieve is linked to brain size, cognitive abilities, and the skill to form strong social bonds within their group. In the case of orcas, they tick all 3 boxes. Knowing all this, reports of orcas caring for the sick and preventing them from dying seem the most natural. I already mentioned a disabled orca that was fed by its pod. This is a young male who lost 2 flippers, along with the ability to hunt. However, instead of being abandoned or rejected by its pod and left to die, the guy found protection from other orcas. The pod had 7 orcas, 5 females, a massive male, and a young disabled male. While the others hunted bride's whales, a species of large baleen whales, the finless male stayed at a distance and didn't join in. Yet he still got food. These observations are one of the few pieces of evidence that a wounded orca can survive with the help of its pod. In 1996, a group of researchers found that another orca calf was missing its tail and part of its dorsal fin, which were believed to have been cut off by a boat's propeller. The wounded
Damn.
orca named Stumpy was not seen for many seasons and was presumed dead. Then Stumpy returned, and it turned out he was perfectly fine. Rather than sticking with one pod, Stumpy swims with at least 5 different ones, and they all feed him. Once, observers saw
that nigga just going around getting what he can get, damn. He don't care about the pods or not. He like, shit, nigga, I done used the last 4 of them motherfuckers. They tired of me. Let me go over here. Once you get tired of me, I'm gonna go back over there. See what they talking about. Once they tired of helping me out, I'm go. That nigga just gotta keep moving around. That nigga is a rolling stone. This nigga got forced into being a rolling stone because he had an accident. So now he just living off everybody.
Females dashing through the waves,
He working
each
to get him
carrying
a
a
beer.
big herring for Stumpy. They also guard him from boats, so Stumpy doesn't get hurt anymore. In short, the guy's got a good deal, considering his situation.
For real.
But let's get back to Mourning. According to the latest news, it's manifested
that
not only
dead?
towards the offspring, but also vice versa. In March 2024, there was a report about a young orca that refused to leave a lagoon off Vancouver Island. She entered the lagoon with her pregnant mother, but she died during a seal hunt, accidentally throwing herself ashore. Dozens of people tried to overturn the stranded female and give her water, but the orca didn't survive. Over the next 5 days, rescuers tried to return the baby to the sea, but instead the 2-year-old female moved further into the lagoon. The situation was complicated by the fact that there's a 30-minute window each day when the water rises during high tide.
Right.
This is enough for the baby to float out. The rest of the time, it's too shallow and the current is too strong. But the young female continued to stay in the lagoon as if mourning her deceased mother, or perhaps she was waiting for her return. Rescuers tried to guide the calf into the ocean using orca's acoustic cries like these. It didn't work. None of the other methods worked either,
Damn.
even though the rescuers seemed to have tried everything.
That baby just gonna sit there and just go around and around like, damn, when is my mama coming back, bruh? I'm never leaving till she comes back. That's like a dog. Your dog could go on a walk with you and you be like, oh, stay right here. And you go and die, that motherfucking dog gonna stay right there until you come back. It fucking around and die right there. It won't eat. It'll lay there. It'll walk around. It'll go looking for you and then come back and be like, come on, what the fuck? Unless he just sniff your tracks off and run into you and just like, wow. And he'll lay there by your dead body. Telling you until help comes.
Thing they could. For example, they tried to capture the orca and transport it using a rope. It didn't work out. The young female turned out to be too smart. Around 10 boats tried to herd the orca using oikomi pipes to create a loud noise underwater. These pipes are made of reverberating metal, and when partly submerged, they can be struck with a hammer. But this also didn't help. They even brought in a violinist who played for the orca during high tide. People still hope to return the animal to the open ocean. Many violin notes resemble orca vocalizations, so the plan was a good one. And the orca even seemed interested, but still didn't swim away. In the end, the calf spent over a month in the lagoon, then managed to get out on its own and swim away. Maybe it gave up, or perhaps on the contrary, it found the strength to keep on living. Unfortunately, this isn't a happy ending because orcas are too social, which means the young female will need to find her pod. It must belong somewhere, otherwise it won't work out. The question is where exactly and how long it'll take to find it. Can a 2-year-old calf survive alone? I hope so.
Hell no. Can a 2-year-old
and also
anything
hit the like
survive
button.
alone?
See you later.
The hell is them? Some rats? Brought snake killers to the island. 25 years later, everyone was shocked. Snake killers? Yeah, that's some type of rat bat. The fuck? I'm not going to that Japan island. They got rat bats up there. Hell nah. But yeah, man, that's going to be the end of this video, man. I need y'all to like, comment, subscribe. Keep them post notifications on. And let me know what's your favorite animal in the sea. What's your favorite animal that's only in the ocean, though? Not in a pond. That's only in salt water. Y'all let me know that, man. I'm gone, man. Y'all be easy. Keep God in your life. And just know I love y'all, man. Peace.